Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. There's no words, guys. There's no words after this game. I'm gonna let you guys do the talking because if I talk, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry, guys. So I'm gonna read some comments. I'm sorry, guys, but this win against Udinese was something else. Because, man, there's no way we managed to beat Juventus 5-1. This must have been Ascoli. Come on. Cesena. For sure, right? For sure. So, man, alright, let's go. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. Justin Turano says, let's go, Ossi. The only weak link is Rahmani, otherwise great teamwork, says Hafiz Yusuf. Imagine saying Rahmani is the weak link after he scored that worldie. But yeah, definitely he did make some mistakes every once in a while, but more than made up for it. In fact, he says, just after I said that about Rahmani, he scored. I guess he was listening to the criticism. And you guys keep commenting throughout the game. 3 Brazilian center backs cannot deal with Victor Osimhen. I love that commentator. Guys, if you were listening on BT Sport like I was, the commentator kept calling kvaratskhelia and Osimhen Osimhen. I was about to throw something at the television, guys. I was about to throw something at the television. Imagine being mad when you're winning 5-1 because someone can't pronounce the name right. Let's look at some more comments, guys, before we analyze a bit the game. Matt Marco says, we want Allegri's comments, Dom. Guys, today we are going to listen, or we're going to hear what Allegri had to say about this game, and that's going to be the cherry on top. I want to know what this man can say after a defeat like that, because he's got to come up with something, and it's got to be good. And I can't wait to hear it. He's probably going to talk about how, I don't know, probably going to talk about some injuries or whatever. Complete BS, man. Juventus were coming from 8 straight wins, 8 games without conceding a goal, and then 5 polpette. 5 meatballs, man, in the back of the net. That's what happened. That's what was served to Juventus. I still gotta check if it was Juventus, guys. I'm still not convinced. It might be Ascoli, it might be Cesena, it might be Udinese, but I can't believe we did that to Juventus. Daniel Peters says, this is what a negative, boring football deserves when you have talented list. Juve reap what they sow. Guys, today football won. Football in 360 degrees. The football on the field by the players. The fans outside and inside the stadium, and Napoli as a football club, because the recruitment that we did, guys, we took some big risks on Victor Osimhen, a 21-year-old from Lille, on Kvara, a Georgian from the Georgian Russian league. I mean, nothing against Georgians, that came out wrong, but you guys know what I mean. You know, a guy that hadn't been in European football before this. Kim, who was playing in Turkey. Guys, we took some risks and it paid off because we looked at the quality of the players, not the name on the back of their shirt. And these guys, man, wow, they're paying us back. They're paying us back. Daniel Bowen, guys, first off, thank you for the €10 donation, man. Always so kind of you. He says, Dom, Victor Osimhen is world class. I think he proved it. I think he absolutely proved it, because we were waiting for this from Osimhen. We were saying at the start of this year how he still had to show it in the big 5 games of the season. And that was fair criticism at one point in his career. But now he scored a decisive winner against Roma, scored a double against Juventus, assisted as well. And not only that, not only the goals and the numbers, but the way he played, guys, the way he played. He was a menace, absolute chaos. He put fear in those defenders, right? And that's what you want from a number 9. Not just some guy that scores goals, but some guy that wins you games before they even start, because the defenders are scared to go onto the field and play against that guy. Payment Edgar with the $449 donation. Guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. He says, Grande Napoli. Sorry for ever doubting Osimhen, world class. Kvara is back. Yes, he is. Elmas must be a starter. Now stay humble and on to the next game. Guys, we were talking last week about should we drop Kvara for Elmas. At the end of the day, guys, we may need to start both of them with Elmas on the right. And we did talk about this. We said, why not maybe start Elmas on the right? And in the second half, when he came on for Politano on the right, he was fantastic. Elmas, you can play him in any position. I want to see Elmas as a goalkeeper. Why not? Why not? Maybe at the end of the year, last game of the season, if things are all wrapped up, let's put Elmas as goalie and see what he can come up with, because I'm half convinced he's going to come up with a clean sheet. And maybe we play him as Spalletti's in Spalletti's position. You know, why not let him coach the guys, because he can do anything, that man. Mike Ekstad with the $2 donation says, Forza Napoli sempre. Man, that's exactly how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. I mean, guys, I had a fever. I have a fever right now, right? And I feel much better. I feel much better. This is what Napoli does. Miracles. Because you can take any scientific paper and they will say that this is impossible, that you can heal from a Napoli game, but it's happened, right? It's happened. It's a miracle. So that's the power of Napoli. I feel much better. Ben Payne is in the house. He says, Forza. Yes, man. Yes, let's go. Let's see some more comments, guys. I just want to read your comments today. Honestly, this is for you guys. This win is for you guys. It's for you guys. I had to suffer the last, I don't know how many years. You guys had to suffer alongside me and alongside everybody else. But yeah, this is just as much my show as it is yours. And I want to give you guys, I want to read every comment. I want to read every comment, guys. So I hope that's cool with you. But before I do that, I really want to give Daniel Bowen huge congrats for releasing his first YouTube video on Napoli. It's on Napoli Nation TV, the YouTube channel, and he's doing a little project with his son. You guys know him. Daniel comes up every day, not every day, but every live, and he supports the channel. He gives his insights. He goes to almost every away game. I think his show will give you guys that extra dimension where you'll get to feel what it was like in the stadium, because unfortunately, guys, I'm not able to live in Naples, but Daniel, he's following the team. So I think it's a super cool idea that he had, and let's go support the other Napoli creators. I think as a community, we gotta do it. Maximus says, oh, how the mighty have fallen. No, man, we're the mighty ones. We're the mighty ones. Better bounce back game for Kvara, 100%. Matt Marco says, we want Allegri's comments. Daniel Peter says this. Yeah, we already read those comments. Let's see. Let's go further on. Anthony is in the house. This is the best Napoli win I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to say it. Anyone else think we could have won 10-1? Probably. You know what? Is this the best Napoli win? I think it could be. I think it could be. Obviously, you could say, you know, we haven't won a trophy, but guys, we're there. We have a hand and a few fingers on the Scudetto. And I don't want you guys to say that we're jinxing it, guys. That doesn't exist anymore. This team is too good to suffer from any jinxes. Way too good to suffer from any jinxes. We gotta just accept reality, guys. This team is on fire. On fire. Anthony G says, fellas, imagine this. If we can get Elmas to play on the right, then maybe we can get Lozano to play on the left when Kvara comes off. Remember, this is his natural position too. Which would make sense, except for the fact that when Lozano came on, Spalletti put Elmas on the left and Lozano on the right. So clearly, he sees him as a guy to play on the right. He doesn't see him as a guy to play on the left. Otherwise, he would have just done a 1-for-1 swap with Kvara on the left, which is very interesting. Very interesting that Spalletti only sees him like that. Justin Turano says, okay, 2 questions. Where we rank Napoli on the power rankings of Europe's top 5 leagues. Based off that, how far in the Champions League do we think they can push, given Napoli's form? Guys, it's clear. Napoli is, right now, the best team in Europe. I don't think there's any team out there that is destroying the opposition like this. And you could say, right, but what about that Inter game? Guys, that Inter game was the first game back from the holidays. We all know what happened in the first half when it came to the lack of yellow cards. Honestly, I think that was a one-off. But if we take a look at the season as a whole, no team did better than Napoli. Absolutely no team. And considering that maybe one of the top 5 most informed teams, which is Arsenal, is not in the Champions League, then we are part of the favorites. And obviously there's Real Madrid. Obviously there's PSG. Obviously there's Man City that we got to go out and play against, hypothetically. But you can't tell me that this Napoli team doesn't at least have a 50% chance against those teams, man. Like, we are good. We are scarily good. What a game. We were looking amazing out there today. I hope we keep this pace. Forza Napoli, says Omari Lewis. Adam Miller says, Hafiz, I think you're right about Elmas playing on the right. He seems like an upgrade to Politano and Lozano. It doesn't take much to be an upgrade on Politano and Lozano. Let's start off with that. However, I really liked Politano today. Really liked him. I thought he tracked back fantastically. I was seeing him on the left. He went and tracked back next to Mario Rui on that corner flag. And then a minute later, he was back on the right-hand side of the field. Guys, the defensive work that Politano is putting in his recent performances is crazy. And the first goal happened to be from a Politano cross. Yes, the defender got ahead to it. But think about how his game has evolved. He didn't try to cut back on his left foot. He didn't try to be too fancy. The ball just came, and with his right foot, he put in a cross. And we're seeing Politano, I think, add a few more elements to his game finally. The account says, you know, when forwards are in a good mood, this Napoli team is even unstoppable. Maradona Stadium and a good mood is enough for this unbelievable performance. Guys, the Maradona Stadium plays a huge part. I think I've said this before, but I have a feeling that people are going to watch Napoli games now as at the Maradona, and they, even before the game starts, they know they're going to win. They're just there to have fun, right? A bit like maybe the Argentina fans at the World Cup, man. They were just there to have fun. Or the Morocco fans at the World Cup. There's no anxiety in the fans. And that means that no anxiety gets transmitted onto the players. And so they play very freely. Whereas if we take a look at what happened last year, man, you would go to the stadium and we wouldn't start cheering until we scored a goal. It was like when it was 0-0, we had this feeling of it could end 0-0 or we could even lose. And that's just not happening this year. We go there from even before the game, everybody's in a good mood. We just know we're going to win. And I think that helps the players tremendously. Let's see some more comments. Paolo Iannicello says, Dom, I might be jumping ahead, but honestly, if we win the Scudetto, I won't believe it. I will not only cry, I would probably die. I mean, guys, I had to dry off a few tears because when that 5th goal came in, I was gone. I was gone. And obviously, I don't want to be crying in front of you on camera 6 months before the title's done. But if and when that day comes, man, you'll see me very, very emotional. Johan Santos says, what a devastating match for Juve. Conceded only 7 before the match, but gave up 5 on this match alone. It just shows how strong we are. Roland says, hi man, congratulations. If you remember, I told you that Kvara needs more trust and he will be back. He was brilliant today. I remember that, Roland, and Spalletti kept trusting him. He didn't bench him, so congrats to Spalletti for trusting in Kvaratskhelia. Kanuhan Flame says, there was a game today? I just got the notification. Napoli Talk went live. What happened? Oh, man. I hope he's joking. I hope he's joking, man. DC says, Madonna mia. Bremer, best defender in Serie A. That's hilarious, man. I love how Juventus spent nearly 50 million on Bremer, and he got destroyed. Got destroyed today, man. What happened to Bremer? Antonio Toni says, siamo troppo forti, Madonna. Avellino would have put up a better fight, says Sal Di Brita. Guys, I'm still not convinced we played against Juve. Part of me, I think I just need to check on Google if this was Juve or Ascoli, because man. Let's see some more comments. Let's see some of the more recent comments. Sal Di Brita says, remember Newcastle wanted Kvara for £50 million. That could get his game-worn shirt from today, maybe. Oh, man. Newcastle have got no chance of getting Kvara. I don't think any of these players want to leave Napoli anytime soon. Why would you? Why would you? This team is incredible. The crowd is incredible. The atmosphere, everything about it. Living in Naples for these guys is incredible. The weather, the food, the surrounding areas. Why would you go to Newcastle? No offense to anyone from Newcastle, but honestly, guys, Napoli has everything. When you're winning with Napoli, it's the best place in the world to play football. End of story. End of story. That's just the way it is. Let's see some more comments from Sport TV 24 Timar. I think they're joining from Nigeria. Says Napoli on fire. Guys, how about this? In the comments, write down where you are joining from, guys. I want to see what countries, what cities you guys are in. Type your reactions to the game, and then don't forget to smash that goddamn like button, guys. You got to celebrate. And this is the 6th goal. If you press that like button, we might get a 6th goal added in there, you know, even though the game's already done. Maybe the Serie A will sneak it in there. So make sure you smash that like button. But guys, 5-1. 5-1. What is this? Tennis? It's not football. 5-1. What's going on? Kim Nyang Kun, probably joining us from South Korea. Thank you for the donation. Says, bravo Napoli. I had no memories beating Juve, just like the kid. Even Sarri didn't. Also, Juve have 5 goals conceded in 30 years. Lol, 1993. Pescara, Juventus 5-1. Pescara. Wow. What happened there? How did Pescara score 5 goals against Juventus? By the way, this is not the first time that we beat Juventus 5-1. In 1991, in the Italian Supercoppa final, we beat Juventus 5-1. Actually, the dad of one of my good friends, Silenzi, scored one of the goals. So that's pretty cool. All right, well, we got a lot of places here. We got Oakland, California. Joseph is from Joseph, man, what time is it in Melbourne, man? It's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. You must have woken up early for this game, but obviously, what are you gonna do? Not wake up for this game? Paul Dedican says USA, Great Lakes. Ooh, nice. LA, Matt Marco, Hamburg, Germany. Man, we haven't had too many German players in Napoli. We need a few more. Eric Lamela. I'm not sure if it's the Eric Lamela. Mauro Rui is underrated. How didn't he get into the Portuguese World Cup squad? Man, Mauro Rui is so good. Phoenix, Arizona, Boston was a lot of you guys from the States. And obviously we've got some Georgians. We've got people from Kosovo, Montreal, Sweden, Switzerland. Today was beautiful, says Vaso Engineer. Lawrence from Naples, man. That's amazing. When someone from Naples joins, that's incredible. Because I'm hoping that they went to see the game at the stadium, and their first thought as soon as the final whistle went was, I need to join the live on YouTube, which is crazy to me. Brian says London, but I'm Nigerian, or Byron, sorry, not Brian. Lachlan is a very Australian name, and you didn't have to say Australia. I would have guessed you were Australian. I only know Australians call Lachlan. I'm I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but the few people call Lachlan, if I'm pronouncing that right, we're all Australian. Alex says, still crying from France. Is that because of the World Cup? I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. Adam Miller from Belgium, Australia. A lot of you guys from Australia, from down under. Nigeria. There we go. There we go. The Nigerians are in the house. Lagos State, Nigeria. NG. Ahmed. There we go. Man, how you Nigerians need to tell me, like, how crazy is it right now in Nigeria with the Osimhen thing? He must be your guy, the star guy from Nigeria. Everybody must be talking about it. All the sports papers, all the sports TV programs. It must be crazy, man, to have such a prolific striker. And I hope you guys make it to the next World Cup, man. I really hope so. From Seoul, obviously, Kim, as we predicted. Birmingham, Muhammad. Nice, guys. Of course, Di Maria had to score, says Paolo. Guys, Di Maria had a great game in the first half. In the second half, he went down, but obviously, guys, the whole Juventus team. And let's now. Look, I don't have any screenshots for you today. Why? Because I told you I have a fever. So I wasn't going to work during the game. And also, Napoli Juventus, I just wanted to enjoy the game. And also, to make matters worse, I had no electricity for the first 10 minutes of the game. So I was on a smartphone, and literally when my smartphone went to like 2% battery and then the electricity came back on, I could get my Wi-Fi going, get it on the computer, charge my phone, all that sort of stuff. But obviously there was a few complications with making the analysis today. So we're just going to talk about the game, right? And I hope you guys don't mind that. But next time we'll have the screenshots. So, all right, my point of view is this. We started off the game super strong, the first 20 minutes. And unlike the game against Inter, we knew what we wanted out of this game. The problem that I think we had against Inter was that the team was unsure whether to play for the draw or play for the win. And that means that sometimes you get into the other team's half and you don't know if you're bringing men forward. You don't know if you're keeping people back in case the other team counters. That creates a bit of confusion, a bit of doubt. You overthink certain situations and you're not playing with a clear mind. And I think that's what was the problem against Inter. I don't think we knew what we wanted out of this game, and I think Spalletti addressed that situation, addressed that mentality problem, which maybe came from him, by the way, maybe not from the players, but from him. He wasn't maybe sure himself how to play the game. And instead in this game, we went out there in the first 20 minutes and said, right, we want to get a win. And we want to get a win starting from the first minute. And we dominated them in the first 20 minutes. And we were moving the ball left to right, trying to find some space, trying to find balls in between the lines. We saw it with the Di Lorenzo pass to Politano. And then Politano first time crosses it for Kvara. Great shot. And then obviously Osimhen gets a rebound. But everything about that goal was quick play. And it's just, we knew what we wanted. So I think that's one of the key takeaways from this game, is that Napoli had a different mindset compared to Juventus. However, guys, there was the next 20 minutes when we scored the first goal, or the next 15 minutes, where I thought Juventus were the better team. Let's be honest, guys. From our first goal to our second goal, Juventus were the better team for those 10-15 minutes. The game was becoming scrappy. They were pushing people forward. We were just chucking long balls towards Osimhen, and he was pretty isolated. I thought, ooh, what's going on here? And then finally we get the second goal. And even the second goal, it was a little, not scrappy, but I mean, it was a very direct. It was, Politano gets the ball. First time, lobs it over to Osimhen, and it's like Route 1 football, which is great. You got to have a bit of everything. And it's a very similar situation to the goal that Osimhen scored against Roma, where Politano receives the ball in roughly the same area. First time pass to Osimhen, and then Osimhen, just drives the ball forward. In this case, he got a little bit lucky, maybe with Bremer. I'm not quite sure how he managed to find all that space, if Bremer made a mistake. But let's give Osimhen the benefit of the doubt, right? Because otherwise you guys are gonna kill me if I continue to say that we were kind of lucky. And then he lays it off to Kvara. Kvara first time. And even on Kvara's goal, I thought we were lucky to score on his shot. I mean, he was very angled. And I thought Szczesny could have done slightly better. All I'm saying is that our second goal was a little lucky, considering how the game was going at that point, and considering just the one or two things that went well, went our way in that situation. I don't know if you guys in the comments feel the same way, right? So let me know if I'm wrong. I don't know how you guys saw that second goal, but let's see. Let's see some comments. Before we talk about the other goals, before we talk about the other moments in the game, let's see some more comments. And also, keep smashing that like button. I know a lot of you guys are watching this show full screen, crying, happy, all that, but just minimize it for a little bit. Smash that like button. You'll feel better. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We keep saying, if you smash the like button, Napoli win the next game. The problem with the Inter game that we lost was that there was too much time in between the previous game, and so too much time in between likes, and so that's why we lost against Inter. But now, you guys got to keep smashing that button, because we've got games coming up. It's not done, guys. Michael says, yeah, Osimhen is definitely talked about, but there are a lot of Premier League fans that still underrate him, because he's definitely the player we respect compared to the rest. I think, guys, Osimhen, he's got the potential to be a top 5 player in the world. He's as good as Haaland, as Mbappe. He's got that potential, right? The difference between Osimhen, Haaland, and Mbappe and all these guys is that they've already showed it in the Champions League more consistently. Napoli, instead, this is Osimhen's first season in the Champions League, whereas Mbappe's been playing in the Champions League 4 or 5 years. Haaland's been playing 3-4 years. So that's where the international fans will appreciate Osimhen, because those are the games that international fans watch, right? The Champions League. So if Osimhen wants to be part of that conversation, if he wants to be a top 5 player in the world, he's got to deliver in the Champions League. But I think there was different levels to that. So he was very good always for us with the bottom 15 teams. This year, he showed us that he can also score and do well against the top 5 teams. He's missing that final step, which is Champions League games. So, yeah, but that's gonna come, guys. I have no doubt that that's gonna come for Osimhen. Let's see some more comments, guys, and then we continue with the match analysis without any of the screenshots like I usually have. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but as I said, there was no chance for me to prepare for this game. Anthony Navarro says, I'm crying tears of joy. Kind of feel bad for my Cucino because he's a Juventus fan, but sorry, not sorry. No, Anthony, no, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. They won enough. And you should feel happy. You should feel happy. That's the only feeling we got today. Lewis, he says, left work early and I'm excited. Off to get some beer, celebrate, and bet on sports. Lewis. Forza Napoli. I'm going to buy another Napoli jersey now. My 3rd one, but so many to choose from. One of the Maradona ones, maybe. Guys, if there's one year to buy a Napoli jersey, it's this time. Because they're going to be historic. And, oh my God, guys. Speaking of cousins, because Anthony was speaking of his cousin. My cousin in Naples bought a jersey, a replica Napoli jersey with Maradona on the back, signed by all the Napoli players in the squad. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. It's such a nice jersey, but we can't figure out who some of those signatures are. There's like random signatures. There's like a number 51. Like someone wrote something and then put 51, and it's like, who's 51? So maybe I might have to do a separate video just on that t-shirt, and we try to together find out who these guys are on that t-shirt. Senuara Adediran says NGA here in Leeds. Osimhen more than his goals has the fear factor. Exactly. We had spoken about that. He scares defenders like a vampire. He is that typical striker that wins you the game before it starts because defenders don't want to play against him. And it's great. It's great. Zurab from Georgia. Congratulations, Napoli fans, and thank you for the great review as usual. Wait until I give you the player ratings because that's coming up and that's going to make a few people around Nigeria and around Georgia quite happy. Mourinho's formation after watching Napoli today, 10-0-0. Guys, we've got Roma coming up in a few weeks. Oh man, I love Mourinho. I love Mourinho because he was losing 2-0 against Milan last weekend. Somehow, out of nowhere, in the last 5 minutes, managed to get a draw against that Milan side, and Milan dropped 2 points. So hey, it's great. Matt Marco says it's me, Dom. I am 51. Already got a Kvara and Kim jersey, says Johnny Baum. Not bad. I'm tempted to get. If I was to get a jersey, I would be tempted to get Di Lorenzo because he's the captain. But I mean, if you already have Kvara, Kim, maybe Osimhen, right? But those would be my top 4. Kim, Osimhen, Kvara, and Di Lorenzo. They are the most important ones. I wonder how many people buy a Meret jersey, by the way. Mario Rui jersey would also be kind of cool. Anyways, guys, let's go then to the Juventus goal. And have you ever seen anything more lucky than that Juventus goal? Obviously not, because obviously they were going to score a super lucky goal. I don't know how many times that ball rebounded off someone. It was like watching pinball, right? And you just got to say, though, that Di Maria finish, cool as you like, and you can really tell that he's a class above the other Juventus players. He was the only danger man for them, right? He had that goal. He also hit the crossbar. What a shot. I love that player. He's so good. Obviously, he plays for Juventus, so I got to be careful about what I say. I can't say I love a Juventus player, but ignore the shirt that he has on him. What a player. What a career he's had. And it's, to be honest, it's a privilege to win 5-1 against a team that has that player on there. Honestly, it's a privilege. It just makes the win that much more important. So we need the other teams to have good players. We need to recognize they have good players because it makes our wins even more special. So anyways, they score a goal and you're thinking, right, 2-1 at the break. Juventus now have a lifeline. They're going to come at us. And, who knows how the second half is going to go. I was expecting Juve to be at 100% to start the second half like they finished the first half. But I think the moment that changed the game was when Kvara made that dribble early in the second half and destroyed one of the Juve players. I can't remember if it was Danilo or whatever. And it was just a signal to Juventus, like, no, you guys, this is not your game. This is Kvara's world, and you guys are living in it. Kvara and Osi are going to deliver. And I think these little things in the game are so important. I'm a true believer that a lack of a yellow card, a great tackle, one good dribble has the potential to completely shift a game. Because just the mentality aspect that comes out of it. And, I'm a believer that against Inter, we lost because of the lack of yellow cards, and that had a negative effect on our psychology. I'm a strong believer that Kvara dribble was super important for us. People at school made fun of me for supporting Napoli. Now they are surprised. Yeah, buddy, says Navin. You can try and play Kvara on the right wing. He plays with both feet. I think for now, he's got his position. I think maybe if he's having a game where he's not playing so well, maybe that could be an option to move him. But today, he was incredible. Has Napoli got a US online store? Last time I checked, it was Italy only. Here's the thing, Lewis. Napoli is still, I hate to say it, but it's still a family-run business with a lot of aspects about it being very amateurish. No disrespect to any family business people out there, but it's clearly not got the distribution and the efficiency of a multinational, right? There's still many areas around the world where you cannot walk into a store and buy a Napoli t-shirt or get it off Amazon, which is ridiculous to me. Plus, I think, right, and here's my maybe free consulting to Napoli. I think every Armani store all across the world should sell the home kit in all sizes. So you have the regular Armani clothes, you know, and then you've got like this kit in the middle of the shop. How cool would that be? You know, I could totally see that working. And it also allows people a chance to go and buy the shirt, because obviously there's no such thing, like we don't have a Nike or Adidas supporting us, so you can't go to a Nike or Adidas store. We have Armani, but Armani are not selling it in their shop, so what's going on, right? And obviously you don't want to turn an Armani shop into a sports shop, but just the home kit. At least give us that. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Anyways, enough about fashion, guys. Vincenzo Bertillo with the 13.99 Canadian dollars, man. Thank you for the donation. He says, inject this in my veins. Forza Napoli talk sempre. Historic day. I had to shout that. Sorry, guys. Sorry for headphone users, but he put it in caps lock, so don't blame me. Blame Vincenzo Bertillo for the comment. Amazon US has Napoli stuff, t-shirts and stuff. That's true. With the US, I'm not sure countries without Amazon you're able to get a Napoli shirt, which is crazy for me. All I want is the light blue Maradona hoodie, and I can't find it anywhere anymore. All right, let's give these complaints to Napoli. I'm gonna compile them and let them know. David Allen says, I hate to say it, but Osimhen's gonna be gone this summer. David, bro, as I said, I don't necessarily think so. I don't think so, man. I mean, if someone comes in and offers him 10 million a year, maybe, right? But I think Osimhen has the potential with this club to win big trophies. And by that, I mean Champions Leagues. So why would you leave if you've got a team that I personally think is capable of playing against PSG, Man City, Bayern, Real Madrid, and potentially winning? I honestly believe it. And I think this is the best place to play football if things are going well. As I said it before, man, the food's great. The weather's great. The fans are great. The surrounding area and the city are great. The love that the people give you is great. I can't see a player like Osimhen, who's so emotional, for example, work out in a place like, I don't know, let's say Man City, which is so unemotional. It just wouldn't fit. It just wouldn't fit. And I know Man City have Haaland, so, you know, we would have to think of other clubs. But what I'm just trying to say is that I feel like this is the perfect fit at this moment in time for him. So, yeah, that's my thoughts, man. I think if we have a strong team, nobody wants to leave. Domenico says, Dome. I love it when another guy called Domenico comes on to the show. Yeah, he's actually, I remember him from the very start. So I'm glad you're still around, Domenico. Nice to have you. Says, what a match for Blue Hearts. Obviously, the Blue Hearts. Napoli has the attention of the world again, says Roberto Luongo. 100%. And I can't wait for the Champions League to start, dude. The title's a wrap. Let's be honest, guys. The title is a wrap. We got to win the Champions League now. We need to shift our focus, well, first to Cremonese in the Coppa Italia, and then the Champions League, because the title's a wrap. Honestly, it's done. It's done. Finito. So, the Napoli rant with Raf and Raf, they're also content creators, guys. So, I think it's every Monday they put a video on Napoli, so you guys should check those guys out as well. Nice to see you guys in the chat. Anthony Navarro says, okay, my one friend who passed away in 2017 had your name, and I just want to thank you for commenting today. It makes me feel like he's here with me watching my crazy ass cry over football. Anthony says towards Paul. Wow, guys. Yeah, that's the kind of community that we build around here, guys. So glad you guys are enjoying the show, making friends. Yeah, every Monday. Danger says, how good would you rate Kvara? And I think at that point, that means that we got to head into the player ratings, but not before we talk about the final goals from Napoli. I'll do it very quickly because it's already, you guys are waiting a long time for the player ratings. But the third goal was super nice from Rahmani. Where did that come from? Okay. That's the goal of his life, the moment of his life. This guy could solve world hunger, and it still wouldn't be anywhere as close, as impressive as that goal that he scored today on the volley. Szczesny didn't even react, didn't even know what hit him. So yeah, Rahmani, great stuff. Then the fourth goal is the beauty of Napoli. You're winning 3-1. Most teams maybe might decide to settle at that point. Not Napoli. Napoli go with Mario Rui to press Danilo. I mean, our left back pressing Juventus' right back. And we recover the ball, and Kvara places an incredible cross to Osimhen. And Osimhen obviously is going to score from that position because of his talent. But a very talented, just so much talent in that goal. Talent from Kvara, talent from Osimhen, and the desire from Mario Rui was incredible. And I think that if there's one goal that encapsulates Napoli's season so far, it's that one. Because it's got Mario Rui, it's got our high pressing when we're already winning games. It's got Kvara's just beauty on the ball. And it's got Osimhen putting it in the back of the net, which is what he does best. So I think that goal pretty much summarizes how Napoli plays and our season. And then finally, the fifth goal, I love it, how you've got Di Lorenzo in the space, almost as a center forward at that point, coming down the middle and laying it off to Elmas. And then Elmas, he cuts inside and gets a little lucky, but I think, the goal is a great goal. It's a great goal because he does something really nice coming onto his left foot. I think it should be expected by now that he does that. He does that quite a bit. He never really takes it first time or goes long. He always receives the ball and cuts inside. But anyways, let's not give away his secrets. But no, I just really liked the timing of his run. You can see, if you guys watch the goal again, you'll see how he's running and then he all of a sudden starts sprinting, and then Di Lorenzo passes him the ball. And so he's got that pace differential on the Juve players because he's now at full capacity with his running. So the timing of the pass was great. Di Lorenzo occupying a space which is not where you expect a right back to be in is also great. Payman says, Dom, please don't be arrogant. We need to be humble. Man, I honestly think we're done with the title. I honestly think we're done. It's not about being arrogant. I mean, I honestly think it's done. I can't see a way back for Inter, for Juventus. Okay, there's Milan, 7 points potentially. I just can't imagine we're gonna fumble this. Honestly, guys, for me, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. And yeah, I mean, we're not saying this in the fifth game of the season. We're halfway. We know how the teams play. We know what's in store for us as well in the second half. Allegri just blew off the loss post-match comment, says Mike Xdad with a $2 donation. Man, thank you very much. Okay, let's see what happened there. Because all right, no, before that, let's go to the formations, guys, and or the player ratings, because you guys have been waiting a long time for this, a long time, and. Look, maybe this is a little emotional. It definitely is a little emotional. But I had to reward these guys with 9s. And obviously, Kvara and Osimhen with 10s. Kvara and Osimhen deserve a 10, regardless of me being emotional or not about this game. Whether the other people deserve a 9 is probably not. Probably closer to a 7 or 8. But how can you not give a 9 to this group of players, man? How can you not? How can you not? Everybody plays their part. You can't say, you can't give someone anything less than that, honestly. Because if Osimhen is able to do what he's doing, if Kvara is able to do what he's doing, it's because the whole team around them is putting in 100% effort, and they're putting in quality. And I know that there were some moments where we were scrappy, and I know Rahmani maybe could have done a little better here and there. But, guys, 5-1 against Juventus, that's a team effort. That's a team effort. There's no two ways about it. And I just want to reward their mentality, what they did on the field, how they prepared for this game. And Spalletti also, because Spalletti, look, he had a tough job at halftime. When it was 2-1, Juventus had just scored. He had to say the right words to this team, to this group of players, because there was a risk that Juventus would start the second half better than us. And instead, it wasn't like that. So you guys might not like the fact that I was I did this, but I think it's necessary. Lobotka should be a 10, says Boomer. Yeah, you're right. Lobotka should also be. Thing is, honestly, I think Kvara and Osimhen had such a great game that I just wanted to reward them a little bit more. But maybe Lobotka 9.5. Meret as well. Okay, he could have done maybe a bit better with that Di Maria goal, but it was nearly 2-2 because he had to pull off an incredible save on Amir Rahmani. I'm telling you guys, not 9 times out of 10, but 99 times out of 100, that's an own goal. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Vincenzo says, Spalletti masterclass. For me, this was his best game for us in terms of overall approach and in-game adjustments. 100%. And Vincenzo, what we said at the start of the live was also that, unlike the game against Inter, he knew exactly what he wanted the team to do. Versus against Inter, you could tell that he and the team weren't sure whether to play for a draw or a win. Because, honestly, a draw would have been good for us as well against Inter away from home. And when you give yourself two options, it's probably worse than if you just gave yourself the one option. So, yeah, instead in this game, he started off and we knew that Spalletti wanted a win out of this game. He wasn't going to be happy with the draw. Whereas against Inter, maybe he was. Or he would have been. So there was a big shift in mentality, as you've said, for us and approach the game. 100%. And I also, guys, let's talk about the fact that he substituted on Elmas at halftime when you're winning a game. That's also great man management because he recognized that Juventus were getting the better of us at times in the midfield. Because I said, in the first 20 minutes, we were the better team. From 20 to 40, maybe it was Juventus the better team. And I think they were kind of winning that midfield battle for those 15, 20 minutes. So putting on Elmas, who's maybe better at tracking back, better at playing in the middle compared to Politano, I think that helped as well. And credit to Spalletti for making that bold decision at halftime. It's not very often that coaches make that kind of decision when they're winning at halftime. Jessic says, Ciao Dom, how pumped are you on a scale of 10 to 10? Very pumped. Very, very pumped, guys. Obviously, I gotta keep my cool a little bit because otherwise this show is gonna go all over the place. I gotta keep some sort of cool. But yeah, wow, the Napoli rant with Raf and Raf. Thank you so much, man, for the $10 donation. Dom killing it for the post-game stream. Always keep it up, Frate. Napoli have the best content creators in the world, no doubt about it. Yeah, it's incredible, guys. We've got the Rant and Rant on a Monday. We've got, obviously now, Napoli Nation TV that has just started. And Daniel Bowen and his son are going to bring you insights from being at the games. There's me. And then there's Joe Fischetti, who is doing the podcasts. So, yeah, there's obviously many more. But it's a good community, and I think we're all quite different. We all give different takes and we have different opinions, and yeah, we can provide different angles to things. So I think it's quite nice. Kvara 3 assists, 1 goal. Osimhen 2 goals, 1 assist. Spalletti has done everything very well, says Blue Line, 100%. Anthony Navarro says, Lou is good for you. I'm the same height, but chunky boy. EJ Wise says, Fabrizio Romano tweeted, we're in talks to swap Gollini with Sirigu as a backup. The whole Sirigu thing is kind of weird, right? I mean, I think maybe Sirigu expected to play a bit more, and now he's like, oh, I'm not playing. But I don't know why Sirigu would want to leave. He could win a title. Yeah, I don't know. Very strange, very strange. And also, I feel like Gollini is more competition for Meret. He's a younger player than Sirigu. I'm not sure he'll accept being on the bench, or won't accept it as much as Sirigu does, because Sirigu's pretty much done with his career. So, yeah. Kim is so stable. I never felt so safe in our defense, as Johnny Baum. I think Kim is actually more consistent than Koulibaly. Koulibaly had some incredible games for us, obviously. But he never went on a 10, 15, 20 game streak where just no mistakes, right? He was prone to a few mistakes, Koulibaly, every once in a while. But Kim, you never, ever get the feeling that he's going to do something. So, yeah, something bad, I mean, obviously. Anyways, someone's asking, does the first shot of Kvara count as an assist or not? You know what? I'm not too sure. It might not count as an assist. I think it might count as just a shot. I'm not sure how the rule is there. That's a good question. So that's the player ratings, guys. Obviously, we've got the match stats, which I mean, let's just take a look, because it's nice. It's nice to see how much we dominated Juventus. 10 shots on target on the 14 that we took. That's incredible accuracy. That's maybe something that we're doing differently compared to last year. There was a stat that said that 98% of our goals, before even this game, so after this game it's going to be even more, but 98% of our goals came from inside the box this season, which means that we're taking more shots from inside the box, which means we're also able to convert more. Whereas last season, maybe we had a few more shots outside the box, we weren't able to convert, and obviously then that chance would go to waste. So we're also changing the way we attack and when we shoot, and obviously this is showing with the amount of shots on target that we have. And sorry, it's in Spanish, guys, but we're taking a look at the first two rows. Possession 61 against 39, dominated them. 88% pass accuracy versus 81, destroyed them. Yeah, I mean, just dominated Juventus, really. And this is how the table looks. 10 points clear of Juventus with the same number of games. We've got 13 points on Inter with the game in hand, and 10 points clear of Milan with a game in hand. And Milan play tomorrow, I believe. Yes, tomorrow at 6 p.m. against Lecce. Then they've got a Super Cup final, so that's interesting. It's an extra game for Milan. And then they've got a few hard games. They've got Lazio, Sassuolo, Inter. So not easy for Milan, the next few games. Whereas us, we've got Cremonese in the Coppa Italia on Tuesday, the Campania Derby to finish off the first half of the season, and then we start the second half with Roma, and then Spezia, and then again Cremonese, right? So I think it's a bit easier than the ones that Milan has, to be honest. Lewis C, wow man, thank you so much for the $19.99 donation, man. That's incredible. Guys, you guys are way too kind. And Lewis says, thanks for all you do, bro. Really appreciate. Forza Napoli sempre. Guys, I try my best. I try to bring you guys a community, and yeah, I appreciate. I like that it's appreciated. As I said, I have a fever right now, so it's nice that you guys are enjoying yourselves And if I don't have so much energy, even though we won 5-1, I assure you it's not because I'm not super excited. It's because I have a fever. Dom, do you think we could do a complete rotation for the Coppa Italia? My vision is Simeone and Raspadori. Yeah. I think so. I think we can change 4 or 5 players. Obviously, you don't want to underestimate Cremonese. We saw what happened when we did that against Lecce at the start of the season, but I feel like our subs are still at a very good level, and we need Simeone to play some games. So of course he's gonna start. I can't imagine him not starting. Anyways, let's see what Spalletti had to say, and then we can wrap this up. So let's see what Spalletti had to say in his press conference. Spalletti says, we only care about ourselves. The message that we want to transmit today is that we played a good game, playing very good football. We went against a Juve team that was convinced, and we were convinced to be just as good as them, and we wanted to play the football that we always play to put them in difficulty, especially after the 2-1 in the second half. We remained united, we remained lucid, and thanks to our public, we managed to then score a few more in the second half. We didn't allow Juventus to play. Juve has always been the better team in the past few years, and tonight we showed that we're at the top as well. And they ask him, is this the victory of modern football? And he says, look, it's just 2 different philosophies, 2 different ways to approach a game. I don't like to play defensively and park the bus. Obviously, it makes it easier to go on a counterattack. I like to play a different style of football, says Spalletti. They talk about his emotions, because Spalletti wasn't celebrating the goals. He was stone cold, and he says, look, I'm very happy. When you see a lot of happy faces in the stadium, these are very nice things to see. The curva was happy and applauding, and I like this, and we need to keep earning this. We need to be able to then go again and keep doing what we're doing, because there's a lot of games still to play. They ask him about Kvara, and he says he's got a technique that is as good as the top players in the world. He has the quality to find the pass and to find the corner of the goal. He's able to shoot with his right, with his left, do dribbles. He's good under every single aspect. He's also a very fit player. It's clear that also Osimhen is a very good player, and I'm very curious to know where he's able to go in his career, as in like what he's able to achieve in his career. He's still got some incredible margins for improvement. When he goes into the space, he's devastating, and we saw how much Bremer had a difficulty today facing Osimhen. That's Luciano Spalletti for you in the press conference. And let's see what Osimhen had to say as well, right? Let's see what Osimhen had to say. So I know Spalletti's face is still going to be on there, but Osimhen says, it was a fantastic night. We really needed these 3 points. I'm proud of these 2 goals and to have contributed to the team. We have a great team, just like Juventus, but we were better than them tonight. We have good chances to win the Scudetto, but we can't think about that now. We need to just keep winning as much as possible. So that is what Osimhen says. And Aurelio De Laurentiis instead, I think he tweeted saying, I'm ecstatic for this fantastic team. It will be impossible to forget about tonight, which is true. Let's see what Allegri has to say. Allegri has to say, let's see. We have to congratulate Napoli. We were a bit low on energy, and after the first 20 minutes, we came back up. After the 1-0, we played better, and there was some good situations in and around their area. But now we need to recover. We need to we need to make sure that we keep working. The championship is long, and this is just one game out of the many. Is this the most difficult defeat of your Juventus career? They ask Allegri, and he says the defeat is very heavy. There's some times when you lose and you deserve to lose, and other times when you lose and you don't deserve to lose. This time we deserve to lose, yeah, fair play to him for admitting that they deserve to lose. But how could he not admit it, right? How could he not say that they deserve to lose after it's 5-1? Maybe you can get away with it if it's 2-1, 3-1, but once it's 5, nah, man, you have to just admit that Napoli were the better team, and he did that. So fair play to him. Right, let's look at the last few comments, because we have just gone past the hour mark, and I think if I continue any longer, I might drop to the floor. So let's see. That Bremer guy has to be one of the worst defenders I've ever seen. No pace, horrible passing, off balance all the time. How the hell is he even a pro player? Guys, Bremer had a very good season last year against Torino, but that's the Osimhen effect. Hate that I'm on doing a sober month. I want the party, says Mike Xdad, and thank you again for a $2 donation. Bro, you don't have to pay every time you want to comment, bro. Don't make me feel bad. But thank you. And yeah, dry January, huh? Matt Marco says, wow, that was the most accountability Max Allegri has ever taken. Yeah, that just speaks volumes of Napoli's performance. Hazuke says, I would love to hear what that clown Allegri said. So yeah, and we heard that. Anthony G says, if this happens, we won't want to miss this. It would be insane. So I think he's talking maybe about like going to Napoli, obviously. So yeah, guys, I think we can wrap this up. In my opinion, I think we can wrap this up. And if you're living in Europe, then maybe, I don't know, maybe you're going out. It's midnight. Maybe you're going out. Maybe having a drink to keep celebrating. If you're in Australia, I know some of you are, maybe it's a bit early for a drink, but you know, maybe this time it's not the worst scenario, And if you're in the States, man, you've got a whole Friday night ahead of you to keep partying it up and to enjoy your Friday. So yeah, guys, hope you guys have a good one. Oh, you guys want the Di Lorenzo interview? Okay, let's do it very quick. Let's see what he had to say. Before we go, I'll give you guys that. Di Lorenzo, okay, before we go, guys, he says, oh, it's a long interview. Okay, he says, we need to keep doing what we've done so far. Tonight we played a very good game, and we need to keep it up. What changed compared to the Milano game? And he says, look, in that game we played underneath our level at San Siro, and it was just a night to forget, and it was very difficult after a month and a half of not having played a game. It can happen. We went back and we played. What did he say? We went back after the game, and we analyzed the game. We fixed our mistakes, and now we have gone back to where we left off before. You guys see that I'm already starting to lose my lucidity. I need to be subbed off. What's the secret of this Napoli team? And he says, the work that everybody puts into this team is our secret. We changed a lot of players, but the coach kept putting in the work. The players that stayed kept putting in the work. We have a lot of quality, and it's easy to do what Spalletti tells us to do when we've got those elements of work and quality. But we still have a lot of games to go. They keep repeating this, that they've got a lot of games to go. They don't want to lose focus. What's his role in attack? They ask him, and he says, Spalletti just wants me to occupy the spaces. And we talked about that with the fifth goal, how he was in a completely different space than you would expect from a right back. We know that in that position, Juventus would have been a bit uncovered, and so that's where we decided to attack them. It went well, And the important thing is that we get into the spaces that other teams leave for us. Your life has changed a lot in recent years, hasn't it? They ask him, because 6 years ago Di Lorenzo was playing in Serie C, and he went up to Serie A with Empoli, and then we bought him, and then now he's captain of Napoli. So it's an incredible 6 years, and he won the Euros, so incredible. And he says, yeah, I entered Serie A quite late. I had to put in a lot of character, and now I am maybe enjoying it more than the others. I didn't ever expect to play for Napoli, to be captain, to be in the national team, but that's where hard work pays off. So there we go, guys. So that's everything. That's everything from me. I'm surprised I managed to resist an hour with a fever. It's a lot of talking. Yeah, guys, 5-1 against Juventus. Wish you guys all the best, and see you next time. And as always, Forza Napoli sempre. Ciao.